Hello everybody. Today I want to show you how your physical setup for your Zoom meetings can make a big difference. So let's begin by taking a look at my setup. So here I have a picture of my equipment, and I just want to quickly run through what I have here. So in the center I have my fantastic TDSB laptop. Use this to run everything. Now I don't have a headset with a mic. I don't like to be plugged in like that. So instead I have my speakers so I can clearly hear the students. Sometimes the students' audio is very poor, and so having good quality sound is really important. Now, I have connected to the laptop an external monitor. So when I was doing this at school, I just grabbed the extra monitor that I had in the science office with my desktop machine and attached it to the laptop in the classroom. And at home, I just have a spare monitor here. This contraption here, this is my homemade webcam, my homemade document camera. So there's a webcam there that I've attached to a tripod so that we can take a look at documents. So I find that this is an excellent setup for Zoom. And Zoom works very flexibly once you take a little bit of time to get things set up. So make sure you have your second monitor plugged into your computer. In order to get it working properly, here's a handy trick. You can access the display settings for your external monitor by using the Windows key and P. I think that stands for using the projector. So if you do that, this will bring up an option on your screen. So there's different ways for the computer to use the external monitor. So for example, it can strictly duplicate what is on your screen, and that's okay if you just want a larger version of something. But in our case, we want to extend our computer's desktop area. And that way, we can have separate things on each of the screens. And that's when we start to take advantage of the power of Zoom. So we're going to select Extended Monitor. So we click on that, and then just click somewhere else. And now, things are ready to go. Here's another way to set up your second monitor. If you go to your desktop, and you right-click in the desktop area, you'll bring up a menu, and toward the bottom it should say Display Settings. So when you do that, you'll get the Windows controls that allows you to arrange your two monitors. So for example, my main computer is right in front of me, and my secondary monitor is off to the left-hand side. So I have the second monitor positioned there. You could easily move this around to wherever you like, so that the physical arrangement makes sense for you. You can hit apply for that. Now you can also choose how the monitors are working together. For example, you can have them in the extended display mode, which is what we want for our work with Zoom, or the other options that are available. So we want the extended display, and I have my second monitor set up in the position that I'm interested in. Now that you have your second monitor set up, there's a setting within Zoom that we should activate to help us work with the second monitor. So you go to your stop video control on the little up arrow, select video settings, and then go to the set of general settings. So here you can find the option use dual monitors. So that way, when your Zoom meeting starts up, it automatically starts using the two monitors. So you're not necessarily dragging one window from one screen to the next. So we have that set, and we'll end our Zoom meeting here, and we'll see how things work when we launch a fresh one using that feature. Now let's restart our meeting since we've changed that setting, and we'll explore how Zoom works with the two monitors. So here we go. We start up the meeting, and Zoom pops up using both of the screens. When Zoom opens up, it looks like the same thing is happening on both monitors. But that will change as soon as we start doing things within Zoom. I'm also filming this using a separate camera so you can see what the two screens look like. Okay, now that we have a student joining our meeting, we can see there's a difference in the two screens that Zoom has brought up. So there's the student. They would be facing me and talking to me if they had their camera on. So let's say we're starting off our class and we begin to share a screen. So here's my PowerPoint for today's lesson. One of the most common situations that you'll have in your Zoom lessons is your PowerPoint open in front of you. And it's good to have that on the screen in front of you so that when you are looking at your own PowerPoint screen, you are looking at your webcam, which is your students. So you're not always looking off over to the side as you're doing your talking. And then in the second monitor beside you, you can have your list of participants and your chat window and the full gallery view of your students. And depending on how you want to arrange that, you can adjust the size of your windows and make sure that they're not overlapping. Now, depending on what you want to see on each screen, you can adjust things. So for example, if I exit full screen on this one, I can now grab this window and move it wherever I like. So I can expand it over on the other side. And you'll notice that this has the full set of controls here. So this is the main Zoom window. I can open up the chat and the participants list. And that way all of that is nicely organized on that screen there. And then if I want, I can take this window and put it in front of me here if I wanted to see myself as I was talking. And here's a handy setup, for example. If I had my students working on a Jamboard, I can put that on my main screen here. And then I can have my gallery of students over at the side on the second monitor, along with the participant list and the chat window, all there available to me at one glance. So this is a really handy way to set up your meeting. I really enjoy the two monitor setup for Zoom, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you're doing a lot of teaching using this platform. I hope you found this helpful.